Aarya opened her eyes, but there was no one around her. A soft knock echoed from the door, and she quickly shut her eyes again. Ayan emerged from the bathroom, glanced at Aarya, and then exited the room. Even after hearing the door close, Aarya kept her eyes shut for a while longer. Once she was sure she was alone, she finally opened them. The room was unfamiliar, yet comforting. Safe. But she couldn't forget her real purpose. She had to find Jerry and return home. After freshening up in the bathroom, Aarya stepped out and went downstairs. The house was eerily silent. She walked into one of the rooms and saw a girl lying there, asleep. A strange pang of guilt tugged at her chest. Something about the sight made her feel sorrow for the stranger. The girl looked worn out, her eyes shadowed with dark circles. Aarya couldn't explain it. Why did she feel so connected to someone she had never met before? Compelled, she gently touched the girl's forehead, and instantly jerked her hand back as a shock pulsed through her from the unconscious figure. Help her. She's special to us, a voice whispered. Aarya turned sharply, looking around. No one was there. Don't be afraid. No one else is in the room yet. But they will be soon, the voice added. Who are you? Aarya asked, addressing the air. You don't need to know. Not now. Just place your hand on her forehead. She didn't want to obey a disembodied voice. But sympathy overcame fear. She placed her hand once more on the boy, on Samira's forehead. Immediately, electric waves surged into Aarya's body. Meanwhile, Aruth, Ayan, and Mayank were in a heated argument downstairs when the entire pack house began to tremble. Lights flickered wildly. Without thinking, they rushed towards their rooms. Hunter, the wolf spirit within Aruth, reached his room first. What he saw made his blood boil. An unfamiliar girl was sitting near his unconscious mate. Samira, who had already awakened moments ago when the tremors began, had noticed Aarya beside her. She had smiled faintly at the stranger's concern. But the moment Hunter's scent filled the air, Samira knew her alpha had arrived. Before Aarya could react, Hunter lunged forward and pulled her off the bed, shielding Samira behind him. Hunter stopped his attack only after confirming that Samira was now conscious. He lowered his head in shame. Samira gently reached out, lifting Hunter's face. It wasn't your fault, she said softly. I did it willingly. Just as she spoke, a deep growl erupted from the doorway. Shadow had arrived. The moment Shadow saw an unmated wolf near his fated one, he turned to attack, but stopped in confusion when Aarya clapped joyfully and exclaimed, Alpha Shadow. Shadow's intense aura softened. He looked at Aarya, and then he smiled. Mate, come to me, he said gently. Aarya stood up to approach Shadow, but was once again blocked by Hunter's presence, who still glared suspiciously. Iron mind linked to Ruth, calm Hunter down or Shadow might lose control. Aruth replied sharply, my mate was unconscious when that girl climbed into her bed. And you want me to calm down? Tell Shadow to stand down before I lose it. Ayan argued. She's just a human. She was scared by the tremors and ended up here because no one stays on the top floor. There's no threat. Let it go. Hunter growled, furious. Ordering me again. Aruth agreed with him and said, want to see who the real alpha is? Tension rose rapidly. Mayank burst into the room. What's going on? He asked. Then immediately, mind linked his cousins. Aruth, that human sat on our bed while Samira was unconscious. Ayan, and Quat, she was scared. That's all. No bad intentions. Mayank knew. Aruth wouldn't back off easily, not after what Doctor had told them. He messaged Ayan. Hunter is only afraid because the doctor told him he might lose Samira because of her illness. Please understand. Shadow looked at Mayank. I understand everything. Just tell him to leave my mate alone. Mayank looked at Aruth. Samira is awake. If you hurt that girl now, or hurt Ayan in front of her, she'll be heartbroken. Is that what you want? Go. Look at her. She's crying. Hunter looked back. Indeed, Samira had tears in her eyes. Forgetting the quarrel, Hunter jumped on the bed and started licking Samira's face. For the first time in a year, his mate giggled. On Shadow's silent command, Aarya climbed onto the back of her mate's wolf form and settled there like she belonged. Mayank observed silently. The situation is way more serious. Earlier, in the meeting room, Aruth had confronted Ayan. What was the doctor saying? And who is that girl in your room? Aruth demanded. Ayan countered. Why should I answer you? Don't you trust your alpha? We're your brothers. Ayan. We're worried, Mayank said gently. Ayan scoffed. Worried? If you truly were, you'd ask me in private, not in front of the whole council. Everyone in the meeting room grew silent. Then Aruth stood. If there's nothing to hide, then let's discuss it here. My brother is also a high alpha. The pack deserves answers. Hunter took control of the Aruth's body. All council members knew that the meeting was going in another direction. Shadow growled. Is this a challenge for the alpha position? He asked, his voice dangerously calm. Don't take it personally, Mayank intervened. We're worried, that's all. I don't see any problem here that should concern alphas, Shadow barked back. You left the ritual incomplete and ran into the forbidden forest after a sudden storm, Mayank pointed out. You returned a week later, alive, from a place no one survives. And with a human, Aruth added. That human could be from a witch clan, a pawn from the enemy. Or worse, Aruth continued, the enemy seduced our alpha, and now he wags his tail for. Before he could finish, Shadow lunged. Mayank barely managed to separate the two before they destroyed the council room. She is my mate. She is the Luna of the Dark Moon pack. Show respect. Shadow roared. Silence. Aruth shouted back, his golden eyes blazing. You lying. Every high alpha of Dark Moon is mateless. I was never mateless. Shadow growled. Ayan took on responsibilities because you two refused yours. He sneered. It's time you understand what it means to be a mateless alpha. Aruth looked at him furious. I will never be mateless. All eyes turned to Mayank. His green eyes glowed unnaturally. Inside him, Kai had awakened. Everyone knew the truth. If Mayank lost Nisaga because of this chaos, he'd burn the pack to ashes. Before anything more could happen, the ground shook violently again. The three brothers froze and rushed toward their rooms. The story that followed was one they would never forget.